Hold on. Okay, ready? Good evening and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment of the Township of Union, which is being held pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Law C-231, laws of New Jersey dated 1975. Notice of this meeting was advertised in the local source, the newspaper of record. The notice has been posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building adjacent to the municipal clerk's office. Roll call.
Mr. Wiley.
Here.
Miss Martins.
Here.
Mr. Bentavegana. Present. Miss Scott.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. McNeil.
Here.
Mr. Graves.
Here.
Miss Ricketts is late, not here. Mr. Champion.
Here. There being a quorum present.
Take note that Miss Ricketts is here.
This ain't working.
Okay. There being a quorum present, this meeting is now declared open. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from the January 22nd meeting. May I have a motion and a second?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the meeting minutes for January 22nd, 2025 be approved as written and dispensed with their reading.
Second motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. At this time, are there any communications?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we do have communications from Jabber Brown Wargath regarding Toro Homes, calendar number 3434, that council will address when called.
Thank you, Mr. Manguso. Proceeding with tonight's meeting, our first order of business is calendar number 3434, Toro's Home, LLC, located at 103 Union Avenue, Block 1903, Lot 1. Applicant wishes to construct an addition for more event space and restripe the parking lot. Counselor?
Good evening. Natasha Montalvo on behalf of Township Home. We are requesting an adjournment. I spoke with Tiffany. The next available was April 2nd. An adjournment to April 2nd. We are currently working on a management plan. So that way when our client comes up to testify, we have a management plan sent to the board ahead of time to know what procedures are for security, management, like certain hours of operation, how things are going to be managed moving forward with each event, the different types of events. So that way we have our operational testimony and all the information you guys have been asking for, and plan, and we can proceed with the application.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Rob Pansul, the Board Attorney. This is the communication referenced by the clerk, the secretary, I guess. The Javerbom Wargath letter, which is Ms. Montalvo's firm, from Steve Hale is the author. It does summarize those details. I think it's an appropriate adjournment request. The key legal provision that I look for is in the correspondence that they would like an announcement to be made tonight to carry to the April 2nd, 2025 meeting without further public notice, and they waived any time constraints confronting the board to realize that adjournment. So there was a lot of detail, you'll remember, as we started this, and I think this preparation and submission is the necessary next piece, so it will be appropriate to carry it to let not only you to see the information ahead of time, but also the township. So you need a motion in a second, and then you do a roll call.
Thank you. At this time, I have a motion and a second to adjourn calendar number 3434 and postpone it till April the 2nd, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting and carry calendar number 3434 Toro's Home LLC to April 2nd, 2025.
Roll call.
Mr. Wiley.
Yes.
Ms. Martins.
Yes.
Mr. Bentavegana.
Yes.
Ms. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. McNeil.
Yes.
Mr. Champion.
Yes.
Okay, the Toro Homes, to the extent any public is listening, it will be carried to the April 2nd, 2025 meeting. It's at 7:30 here in this room. There will be no further notice mailed to the 200-foot list of area property owners or published. This is the only notification. April 2nd, 7:30 in this room as carried. Thank you, the council.
Our next order of business is the 2024 annual report for the board, which will be presented by our board attorney, Mr. Rob Pansula.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just briefly, in your packet was the resolution as I drafted. I've done this every year, which is a requirement under the municipal land use law. It really is simply a summary of all the matters we've heard, and the way I break it down is by zone, and it just shows the variances as you considered them. I base it on the resolution since I drafted them all, so it's kind of just an administrative task that I put together. But substantively, what we do after tonight, and I did set it up for Mr. Bentavegna to move and Ms. Martins to second, just so it then could be executed. Our board clerk will send it to both the Township Council and the Planning Board, just to consider any possible code changes or updates or things based on the amount of information that we're hearing. I'm pleased to report, and it really was similar to last year, that there was very few use variances that you've heard. I mean, there's a couple you'll see in the summary, or you probably have seen in the summary, are expansions of existing non-conforming uses, but there were years where we had a lot more use variances, which means that what the applicant was looking to do was not expected or permitted for that zone, and those are the most difficult cases. The town has gone through great lengths to update their code, and it seems to be working, so I note it for the benefit of the town to consider, and the planning board. Some of the things that do recur are the distances of the parking areas to the building and the street and the residential property lines. Those are really, they did change it from variances to waivers, so that's something that has been done. Those still came up most often amongst all the details that I saw. And then some of the signage particulars, but that's always a work in progress. But I didn't really think legally as the lawyer for the board that there was anything really that jumped out to me. It just serves as an accurate summary as we're obligated to do. So unless anyone has any questions or changes to what I summarized and proposed, or see any typos or details or questions of me, I would suggest that Mr. Bentavegna can move to adopt the resolution for the annual report for 2024, and if Ms. Martins could second it, we could do a roll call and be done with our business.
Any board members would like to make a comment? Hearing
And
none.
also, if this is the time, if there's any particular matter that you guys, any board member has a particular reaction to, that you see as you sit here, man, we always hear this or we always hear that. I didn't see it when I summarized, but that's something you could let me know and I can include it. But short of that, I think we can move in second.
All right, at this time, may I have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution for the approval of the 2024 annual report for the Board of Adjustment?
Mr. Chairman, I move that this board adopt the resolution for the 2024 annual report as it is written and as accurately memorializing the previous findings of this board.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Wiley?
Yes.
Ms. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Bentavegna?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McNeil?
Yes.
Mr. Champion?
Yes.
Thank you. As stated, that'll be presented to both the Township Council and the Planning Board through a communication from the clerk of the board. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, there being no further business coming before the board this evening, I move that we adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.